Well, as being one of the returning veterans, it was an interesting time for this university. It had been known for many years as a streetcar university. Most people lived at home, drove, took a streetcar here. The school spirit was lacking at that particular point because so many of the young guys had been in the service. But everybody was happy to get back. But the campus was small, it was more intimate. The Arts and Science building, which I would have been in, was being built at the time that I was here. I never was in it as a student because the year that I graduated, 1949, is when they finally opened it up for the fall session. But it was an amazing institution in that there was a diverse group of people from all over the United States. And we had a lot of people on campus who wanted to work on the newsroom. There was no pay. You worked strictly as a volunteer. And we didn't lose people. Once somebody got interested in being a reporter for one segment or another of the paper, they stayed for their entire 3 or 4 years. When I was on Okinawa, I heard that Nixon Denton was on Okinawa as a foreign correspondent. Nixon Denton was the sports editor of the Cincinnati Times-Star, which was owned by the Taft family. And one day he and I got together. I don't know how it happened, whether I contacted him or he contacted me, but we went up to his tent and we spent an hour and a half together. And he interviewed me. He did not take one note. Several months later, in the Cincinnati Times-Star, Cincinnati Times-Star, and this is dated June 27th, 1945, and we had landed on Okinawa on April 1st. And here is what he wrote. And every single quotation, every single paragraph was 100% as if he had written or tape recorded the whole conversation. And I thought, my God, what an individual to be able to do that. And so when I got to UC, I decided I could learn to write. First few years that I funded a scholarship, there was very little contact between the students who got the scholarship and myself. I think I attended a couple different venues here and was able to talk before a group of students. But I began to get thank you letters last year, and I've had a couple meetings with a young lady who has been active here. Her name is Sarah. And we've met a couple times for lunch, and she's interviewed me and she's discussed being a journalist. I think last year she worked for the Cincinnati magazine as an intern. And I find it very uplifting. I think journalism has a tremendous attractiveness today, even more than it did when I was a student. I know the print journalism is decreasing because of the lack of advertising, because advertising seems to motivate the production of print, whether it be newspapers, magazines, handouts, and so on. But there are so many other avenues where a journalistic student, an expert in journalism, who can expand his or herself verbally and then be able to put it down on paper so that when somebody picks up the article, it just jumps out at. You don't have to look through 25 paragraphs to find out what the person is saying. You find out very quickly what that person is thinking, and the more you read, the more interested you get.
Looking back all those years and how it all started, why are you so invested in the students today?
Because of what happened to me. I felt the news record was the most important thing that happened to me at UC. taught me so many things, how to handle people, how to handle disgruntled professors, how to handle administrative people.
This is Ariel, and she's a recipient of one of your scholarships.
Nice to see you. What year are you in?
I'm a third year, so I'm a junior.
So you have one more year to go.
One more year to go.
You like journalism?
I love journalism.
In 10 words, why?
It gives you the chance to tell people's stories.
Right. That is right. That's what it is. That's really great. That's a wonderful 10-word dissertation. I am Charlie Stix and proudly Cincinnati.